What's going on, guys? Welcome to Coraiwood, and welcome to the next video on learning Bootstrap step by step. All right, so in the previous video, we have done our buttons, as you guys see, and we explained that this is the responsive. As you guys move the browser, squeeze the browser, it readjusts itself. So this is called responsive HTML or website, whatever you guys call it. All right, so we go ahead and fire up our XAMPP. All right, so XAMPP is running. And so in this video, we're gonna practice a little bit more with our Salon website. We haven't get to the main Salon yet, but what we do is that in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to create a Jumbotron. Like it's a big Jumbotron here, and how to create the 4 or 3 columns here. So we can create 3 large columns here, and how we create our footer. So this is a basic introduction on Bootstrap. So how do we do that? All right, so you guys go ahead, and in the Salon, we create a new file, and we call it jumbo.html, because I don't want to create it in index, and I want to leave the index free for the next projects, for next videos. All right, so we go ahead and copy all of these here, which we have done in the last video, and we bring it here. All right, so we get rid of all these buttons, and we leave the body, and we put a P and Jumbotron. I hope that spelling is all right. So Jumbotron page. So that's how we're gonna test to see if our website, our Salon. So this is the name index, but the index, you guys don't need to put anything there. It's automatically browser is looking for this index, HTML is looking for this index, but with the Jumbotron, you guys need to put it Jumbo. I hope that was Jumbo. I think that was Jumbo. Jumbo, Jumbo. Okay, we name it Jumbo. Or dot HTML. All right, so as you guys see that our Jumbotron is working, and the page is working, and we stick with this page, and we go ahead and at the assets, at the CSS, we create another file, jumbo.css, because it's a good idea if you guys say if you guys are working as a web developer and you guys create a page, Jumbo, and make sure your CSS matches your page. Normally what I'll do is that when I create an index, I'll create my style.css, so I know straight away that style goes with the index. And if I create a Jumbo, I'm going to put all the CSS from Jumbo into Jumbo CSS, because it's a lot easier to find. As we start writing our page, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and when you guys go, when your website's like, say there's a bug or something goes wrong, you guys quickly go there and says, all right, this is Jumbo, and this is jumbo.css, our SCSS. All right, so we go at Jumbo, and we create something is my new. Okay, so we create, so I'll go Control Z. I'll create here my new Jumbotron, my new Jumbotron. The reason I'm saying Jumbotron, because Jumbotron, there is something called Jumbotron in the Bootstrap, and you guys need to be familiar with that. So we go ahead there. All right, so we go ahead and we leave this Bootstrap min CSS, because we need the Bootstrap, and we go CSS style, Jumbo. I put it jump, that should be Jumbo. All right, so Jumbo. not Jumbo. That's a typo. I'll put a jumbo.css. Oh, so the small things count. You guys just be aware of that. So if you even small spelling here and there, small typo makes a big difference. Alright, so jumbo.css. Alright, so we go at our CSS at the jumbo.css, and I'm going to close this. We put a HTML and we put a body. And we put a height 100%, because we want the height 100%. You guys don't see this, but this is it's a big factor when you guys do this body in HTML, because that's how the websites, the HTML renders the website. Alright, so we go ahead in our body and we create our first class. Alright, so we put a div class. Okay, I made a typo again. Alright, so div class, and we put the name of the class site Jumbo. We put that's site because that's our Jumbotron site, and we create another div and we call it class Jumbotron. Jumbotron. Alright, so in this div class Jumbotron, and we put a h3, we put a welcome to Jumbotron page. So that's how we're gonna greet our user. We see if our site is working. Alright, so welcome to our Jumbotron page, and we go ahead and we see our Jumbotron. One sec. Alright, so we go ahead with the site class Jumbotron. Okay, we're gonna target this Jumbotron, and we put a text align center, because we put all the text align center, and we put a background color transparent. Okay, so we see if the text is. So it looks like it's not working. So our Bootstrap's got a problem here somewhere. Jumbotron jumbo.css. So we try again with the Jumbotron. We see if button is working. Okay, so looks like the Bootstrap is working, but the CSS is not working. So we see why the CSS is not working. Index jumbo jumbo.css. Okay, we see background color, we see red. So our jumbo.css is not working. CSS jumbo.css, jumbo HTML. Okay, so it looks like it's inside the asset. Asset Bootstrap asset CSS. Okay, so we made a mistake. It should be inside the asset. The CSS folder lives inside the assets. That's why it's not working. Okay, so now our Jumbotron working because we did not put this asset. It's supposed to be this asset because we go through the folder asset and then we go to the CSS and jumbo.css. Alright, so our assets working now, our CSS is working. We go ahead with our class Jumbo. So welcome to the Jumbo page, and we put a paragraph P, and inside the paragraph we put a and inside this A we put our any website. So we put a localhost. We put a localhost. Or you guys can leave it empty. So you guys can put any your website or something, and inside that A we put a class. Okay, so I'll go ahead. I'll make a room, and I put a class btn success. So we put a btn success. Welcome to Jumbotron page. Learn Bootstrap. The reason I've done this because you guys can put a button like this too. So I'll go ahead and I'll save it. I'll cool shop. We go with salon with inside this salon jumbo.html. Not like that. Okay, so the Windows is a bit slow. Okay, so you guys see that we did not put a button, but we put an A. As long as you guys put a class like that, it should be fine. As long as you guys put a class, so your class is even though we put an A, our class is button success. It will show the button success. We don't want this button, so there is a two method. You guys can put like this too, but you guys need to put something here. So if you guys put a learn Bootstrap HTTPS, you guys can put your website ABC or XYZ website. So we leave this empty. Okay, that's our class Bootstrap. So next we go to the body. Okay, so we go to the Jumbo class. We see that Jumbotron button. So we see that Jumbotron, and we target our button btn success dot jumbotron dot btn. Alright, so font size. So the font size we put at 21 pixels. Alright, and with the padding we put 14 px and 24 px. 14 px and 24 px. Alright, there you go. That's our how our Jumbotron is gonna work. Alright, so we go down side Jumbo and we start our body. Div class body content. So because now we're gonna put our body, and we create 3 columns here. How do we create the 3 columns? So we create 1 column here, the 2 column here, and the 3rd column is going to be here. So that's our top. I know we don't have a header, but when we get to the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to create a header and how to create menus here. So we leave that for the next video. And this video, we're going to get our hands dirty with this Jumbotron and with the body content, and we put a div class. So the div class is going to be row. Why we create a row? Because we want anything you want, guys. Say if we want a body, the columns going to be 1 column here, the 2nd column here, and the 3rd column here. So you guys need to put a row if you want to see anything inside this row. So we put our row, and we start our column div class. We gotta put a call, and we put a large 4. So we put a call large 4, and inside this call large 4 we put a h3. So you put a column 1, and we put inside this column 1 we put some text. So we say this is column this is column 1. I would like that text filler column 1, and you guys can copy this and paste it a few times. Okay, so underneath we put again button. So the button is going to be, it's called class btn success, and inside this one we can put any heading. So you put a news. So we go ahead and check. So this is column 1. The column 1's here, and inside one is it's a news. All right. So we go ahead and copy this. We put it 3 times because we want 3 column, and all of them column large, and it's 4. So we put it this one button say danger. We put a news, and inside this news warning, our weather warning, and inside this one we put a button danger say button info, or you guys can put a button primary. And inside this one warning, and with this one is fashion. Alright, so we put a fashion. Okay, now we go and check our 3 columns. So you guys see that this is a column 1, that's a column 2, and that's a column 3. So that's how our columns coming in here. Alright, so we go, the last one left is our footer. Alright, so we go ahead, because that's div for this one, and this is our row. You guys see that there is a line here, which if I press, it goes here. So I'll get this one a bit closer. Okay, so that's coming closer. I'll press delete. It's coming closer, so it's a body content, and the last bit we put our footer here before the div. We put a div class footer and again we put a div class container. So why we put a container? Because inside this footer, I'll show you guys, you guys can put a container here as well before the Jumbotron, but the container, when you guys put it, it'll make so few pixels from the 4 up down side. So that's how the container. So if you guys go here and put the div class container, I'll show you guys what's the difference. Div class container. Okay, so the div class container, the div class container is here, and that's before the site jumbo. Okay, so we see that site jumbo, and we close this container here. So you guys watch this. When I put a container, it'll go from the up from the both sides. So from this side and this side, and from the up, there are a few pixels moves this side. So this is a container. That's how container works. So when you guys put a container, it'll give a margin from both sides. All right. So we again, if you guys want to put a row, another 4 column, you guys can do that, and we practice that. Div class row and div, we put a class column. This time we put a column MD for, not LG, because we don't want that big columns, we want small columns. Alright, so inside you guys can put a header, and you can put a button inside here as well. So we go ahead and check how the MD column work, and that's how the MD column works. But this is MD columns is smaller than LG column. So if you put a background, put a style, but I'll just finish all these columns that we want to put. So we come here, secondary. Okay, so we made a mistake here, container. That's what it's not showing in a container. And you guys see that that wasn't out of the boundary of container. And once we press this, it'll come here. As you guys see, that's a container. And when it was here, because there was a typo, it was in container, and now it's inside the container. Alright, so we come here, and because the div here moved, okay, so now the div here is moved as well. We fix that, and we put a footer 1, footer 2, footer 3. Footer call MD, and we put a footer call MD, call MD. We put a footer call MD, footer call MD. So that's the medium footer. So that was the medium difference between the medium and the large. Alright, so this is there is not much difference. You guys don't see much difference, but there is something called the medium footer and large footer. And if you guys want to put a body, if you guys want to put a, say say we put a body content, the body content runs from there. And one sec, I'll put a index container in the body side jumbo. At the side jumbo, jumbo, we put a height of say height of 800 pixels. We put a height of 800 pixels to move this thing down. Okay, so the height of 800 pixel, site jumbo height, maybe we put a 1000 pixel. Okay, we go and see what's the problem. This one runs all the way here. Okay, so we put this container, copy, and we put it here. Sorry, it's supposed to be 1000 pixel, not 100 pixel. Okay, so now the footer moved, but we want the footer. So background color transparent border 1px solid say red. We want to see what's Jumbotron the border, so that's a border for Jumbotron. So we put a footer, we give background color, say the background color is gonna be E5, 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 E5. Okay, and before that we see our okay, that's our column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay, we move our footer a little bit on top, and we give a height of say not a 1000 but 900. See how the height of 900 works. Still very big. Height of say 800. Okay, it's getting better. So here, container Jumbotron, welcome to the page, and we put a container here, and this one runs all the way here, and this is a footer, it's got a container, and it's got a row, and it's column 1. One sec, we have to fix the column 2. Call md column 1, and we put a footer column 1, footer column 1, footer column 2, column 2, column 2, column 2, and footer column 3. Footer column 3, and say that's a button secondary, that's a button primary, and that's button info. So we use all our buttons that we set here. Sorry, it's here. So we've got a button primary, button secondary, button danger, success, warning, info, light, dark, link. Alright, so we put a button light. So we go and check. So that's how our buttons. So call MD column 2 and footer column 3. So here body column 1, column 2, column 3. So we go here at the top, our body, and we don't want this style at the moment. We come here at Jumbotron and solid red, and we see that the font size height 800, we make it height of 500 to see our footer. So that's how our footer now very close to the body. Now we can see, and we give little height to our footer, and we put a height of say 300 pixel. Okay, so now our footer's got a little bit height. Alright, so looks like our page, it's got a Jumbotron. We've got something, it says learn bootstrap, and our bootstraps here, we have put something here. Alright, so we come here in Jumbotron, we see that Jumbotron, Jumbo, Jumbotron, Jumbotron flute. If you guys see, there is a faint color here, it's grayish, so we remove the border. Okay, so we go there, Jumbotron border, we put a E1, 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 E1. Okay. Alright, so that's the first row, and we go and check our LG4. So body content, and we copy that. We go and check the second row, we put a HR. We put a HR to make a line here. We put our column LG, say 1, LG1, 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 and LG1. So that's how the LG1 is going to look like. If you guys see, so we've done our column LG1. That's how the column LG1 is going to look like. We can put a column LG5, large 5, and column large 5. And we see how the large column, that's how the large column is going to take space. So the column MD4, you guys can put SM4, and we're gonna put a background style here, background color, and we put a, say the background color is red. We want to see how the SM small 4, because it's a medium 4, small 4 is going to look like. So that's all how a small 4 is going to look like. Say we put a SM1, that's how SM1 is going to look like. So that 1 is going to come, and 2, 3, 4 is going to expand. So we put it SM4 and SM4 column. It looks like that. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked the video, and we have done some practice for Jumbotron and Jumbotron columns, how the column is going to look like. And in the next video we're going to go and practice with navigation, nav bar on the top. We're going to put some navigation here, we're going to put a search bar here, and we're going to put some menus here that toggles, and that's how we go. Alright, if you got a question or comment, just leave it below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.